Lead right hand by Mayweather, standing toe-to-toe.
You know, for people that think that Floyd Mayweather wins these fights by running, he's moving now, but he has spent most of this fight in the pocket against Canelo Alvarez.
That's just people complaining.
Yeah,
I mean, it's all subtle changes. He'll use his legs, he'll stand in front of you, he'll change the looks. He punches off of all of it. It's fighting, fighting tactically, and it frustrates the opponent. Canelo's got to move his hands just like that. Every time Floyd gets the ropes, Canelo's got to move his hands.
Dontaesboxingnation, what's going on, guys? So yeah, you know, today I wanted to do a full post-fight vid on this mega fight that we had against Mayweather versus Canelo Alvarez. So yeah, you know, I wanted to talk about Mayweather's performance, of course, Canelo, how he performed in the fight, and of course the now infamous judge C.J. Ross that had the nerve to have the fight a draw. Okay, we're gonna talk about all that, try to touch on all of it at least. But the first thing I want to ask you guys is, did you notice that Floyd Mayweather was far more aggressive than a stronger, younger, bigger Canelo Alvarez than he was against a smaller Robert Guerrero? Did you guys notice that? Did you notice Floyd Mayweather was more flat-footed, you know, pushing Canelo back half of the fight, more of a somewhat toe-to-toe type battle? Did you guys notice that? And some of you guys already know why. But for the people who don't know why, I'm going to tell you. It's because styles make fights. And Floyd Mayweather is one of the very rare special fighters where he is not concerned about how strong you are. Floyd Mayweather could give a damn how much power you got. He doesn't care about that because Floyd Mayweather has so much confidence in his skill, in his defense, his counterpunching ability, his intelligence, that he knows that he's going to negate anything that you throw at him. Okay? Take, for example, the situation. I told you guys already that, number one, I told you guys already that Floyd Mayweather, when he fought against Guerrero, he was fighting against a very crafty southpaw. And because Guerrero was a southpaw, the main weapon that Floyd Mayweather kept using, I should say, over and over was the right hand, the lead right hand, the counter right hand, etc., etc. It was really all right hands because we all know that when it comes to southpaws, they are usually very vulnerable to left hands and right hands, right? But you had, like I said, you had a Guerrero who had an amateur pedigree, you know, who was an amateur standout, and he was a very, very good fighter, right? So Floyd Mayweather relied on his right hand mainly in that fight. I told you guys in my prediction breakdown that expect to see Floyd Mayweather using all of his weapons when he fights against Canelo Alvarez, because Canelo Alvarez is a conventional fighter. I said that we're going to get to see all of Floyd Mayweather's favorite weapons. You know, his lead right hand, his roll right hand, his, you know, blocking the body shots and countering with the uppercuts. We seen every different weapon when it came to Floyd Mayweather fighting against Canelo Alvarez, right? And the reason why Floyd Mayweather was so aggressive against Canelo Alvarez is because Floyd Mayweather realized Canelo Alvarez, he was far more of an open target than a Robert Guerrero. That's the reason why he was more aggressive. You know, you have these dumbass fans who don't know shit about boxing and they post dumbass messages all day on YouTube. You know, they see a guy who's fresh and has a lot of power, and the first thing they automatically think is, oh, Floyd's just going to run from him. Floyd going to be scared to death. Floyd this, Floyd that. You know, and then you had all these people talking about, you know, oh, you know, Guerrero, you know, he wasn't shit. He didn't have any speed. He didn't have any power. Canelo was way better than Guerrero. But once again, why do you think Floyd Mayweather stood there and delivered more when it came to Canelo? Because Canelo was far more of an easier target than Guerrero was. Okay? That's the reason why. And realistically, we can honestly say it is true that Guerrero, I would say he did a little bit better than Canelo did. Now, I know some people are going to argue and say, no, that's not true. Canelo did a great job. You know, Canelo, he was countering. He was in the center of the ring. You know, he made it competitive. And that he did. Even though he lost almost every single round, Canelo did make it he made it competitive. right? But the difference from Canelo and Robert Guerrero was Robert Guerrero was not so much of an easy target. He wasn't as easy of a target as Canelo was for Floyd Mayweather. That's why Floyd Mayweather stood there and was willing to trade more with Canelo, because he knew that Canelo was dumber than Guerrero was. He knew that Canelo would fall for more tricks. If you go back and you watch the Guerrero fight, and I've watched it a million times, right? You go back and you watch that fight, Guerrero is a very smart fighter, man. He's a very smart fighter. There was times when later on when Guerrero was, of course, losing, Guerrero would Guerrero would pin Floyd on the ropes, but really it was the other way around. Mayweather would put himself on the ropes, and he would try to set Guerrero up with a counter right uppercut. So as soon as Guerrero comes in with his head down like he always does, Floyd Mayweather was trying to catch Guerrero with a perfect uppercut. But every single time Floyd tried to land that punch, it looked good when we watched it, but realistically, Guerrero, he blocked it. Guerrero was always on the alert. Every time when Guerrero threw punches at Floyd and when he led, you can always see Guerrero very hesitant, worried about Floyd Mayweather's counter-punching ability. Okay? When it came to Canelo Alvarez, Canelo didn't have the intelligence to avoid those counter punches, right? And that's the reason why, like I said, Floyd Mayweather was more aggressive. It's not the fact, when you hear people say, oh, Floyd, he runs and this and that, and he's not entertaining, he's not exciting. You want to see more excitement from Floyd Mayweather? Put him in a ring with somebody who is easier to hit, like a Canelo Alvarez, like a Arturo Gatti. A fighter like that who is extremely easy to hit, you're going to see more action when it comes to Floyd Mayweather. Like Floyd Mayweather said in the post-fight conference. Floyd Mayweather said, I take advantage of the opportunities that present themselves at the time. What that basically means is the easier you are to hit, the more punches you're going to see from Floyd Mayweather. Obviously, if Floyd Mayweather seeing shit in the Matrix, he sees an opening for an uppercut, he's going to throw it. If he sees an opening for a hook, an uppercut hook, a right hand, a combination, he's going to throw it, right? And that's what he did when he was fighting against Canelo. Like I said, we got to see all of his weapons against Canelo Alvarez. And man, like I said, man, Floyd Mayweather is so fucking slick. He's so intelligent. There is no doubt about it. Floyd Mayweather is the most intelligent fighter of all time, right? And just like they was just saying on a boxing article that I was just reading just before I made this video, realistically, you can hate him all you want, but there is no way you can deny that Floyd Mayweather is not at least top 5 greatest fighter of all time. All right? And I'm gonna do another video where I'm going to really, really break down and compare what Floyd Mayweather has done in the ring with his skill and his ability as opposed to what other greats have done. And I want to break it down in contrast so you guys can really, really see the difference. There's so many things to talk about. I've watched this fight a couple times already, and after I finish this video, I'm going to go watch it again because these are the type of fights that I like to watch. I love to see skill. I love to see skill at the level that no one else can display it. There are a few fighters out there, someone like a Guillermo Rigondeaux and Andre Ward, who have skills similar to Floyd, but they're not on that level quite yet, But that's a different conversation. But anyway, there were so many things that Floyd Mayweather did, man, that people don't pay attention to, little things, right? For example, I told you guys in my post-fight video as well, I told you guys in my prediction breakdown video as well, that you can expect Canelo to land some really nice stiff jabs because Canelo has a good jab, and as projected, he landed some good jabs, right? And when he landed those jabs, this is how fucking crafty and intelligent Floyd Mayweather is. Because Floyd Mayweather, he is ready to negate whatever you throw at him, right? So Canelo, he hits Floyd Mayweather with this perfect ass jab, right? Of course, Floyd Mayweather, he put this smile on his face. Soon as Canelo threw that jab, once again, a vicious game of paper, rock, scissors, Canelo did not know what to expect for Floyd Mayweather to do next, right? So what did Floyd Mayweather do? Floyd Mayweather, all of a sudden, he did a little bob and weave. He got close to Canelo, and he threw a 4-punch combination in the inside. Double hooks to the head, hooks to the body, and then he took a step back. And then he waited for Canelo, because by nature, you already knew that Canelo was going to try to get payback after that 4-punch combination. So after Floyd threw that 4-punch combination, he took a step forward to follow Floyd Mayweather, and Floyd just took a quick step back and caught Canelo with a perfect right hand. So it was a nice sequence. Floyd Mayweather, he jumped in, he did a 4-punch combination in the inside, then took a step back because he knew that Canelo was going to follow him, and caught Canelo with a perfect right hand. Okay? And just like I also told you guys in my breakdown video that, you know, a lot of people were talking about after watching Canelo against Trout, oh, you know, Canelo, he has a great defense. You know, he showed that he could bob and weave, and he showed he had head movement just like Floyd Mayweather. And I explained to you guys that Floyd Mayweather is a total different animal than Austin Trout. Floyd Mayweather is not going to hit you when you are bobbing and weaving. Floyd Mayweather is going to hit you when you least expect it, right? And just like I said, if you go back and you watch the fight, right, there was a time when Canelo was coming after Floyd Mayweather, and Floyd Mayweather was taking a step back. While Floyd Mayweather was backing up, he was beating the shit out of Canelo Alvarez. I believe it was round 8 where he really started beating the shit out of Canelo, right? Canelo was following Floyd Mayweather, and as Canelo was following Floyd Mayweather, you seen them goddamn bangs that Canelo had hanging down his forehead, just flying every which way and shit, right? Which, let me just say something real quick about them bangs. Let me give you a word of advice, Canelo. Next time you get into a big-ass fight, cut them motherfucking bangs, okay? Because that shit looked extremely animated every time you got popped in the fucking face. Your fucking bangs and your hair flying every which way and shit. You know, it looked like every time he got hit, you know, it was some type of, you know, animation, and there was an exclamation mark right next to his face every time he got popped. It just looked way more dramatic every time he got hit. Every time he got hit with a jab, you just see that hair just flying and shit. So a little word of advice. But back to the head movement that I was talking about. There was a time where Floyd Mayweather, he was catching the shit out of Canelo Alvarez, and I remember he caught him with a real good right hand. I think it was a roll counter. He did a pull roll counter or whatever. One of them counter right hands, right? And right after he caught Canelo Alvarez with the right hand, all of a sudden Canelo, he started bobbing and weaving and shit. I'm like, you know, I remember when I was watching this, you know, I remember saying to all my family when we was watching, I'm like, man, he a little too late to be moving his head. You moving your head after Floyd Mayweather already does the damn damage, right? You were supposed to move your head before the punch came, not after the punch came. So this is exactly what I was talking about. You know, don't get it twisted. People don't understand. Just because you move your head good, it doesn't mean that you have the timing down. You have Floyd Mayweather's timing down. Like I said, Floyd Mayweather is not going to hit you when you're moving your head. He's going to hit you when you least expect it. Because every single time Canelo Alvarez was doing that bobbing and weaving shit, Floyd Mayweather wasn't hitting him. And then as soon as Canelo stopped bobbing his head, all of a sudden you see them goddamn bangs flying every which way again. Because he was getting caught, right? Like I said, once again, man, I cannot tell you how great of a fighter Floyd Mayweather is. People, you can love him, you can hate the shit out of him, but we should all take advantage of what we are watching right now. Because I don't know when we are going to have a talent like this again. Now, don't get me wrong. As far as I'm concerned, the closest thing to him is Andre Ward and Guillermo Rigondeaux, right? So, you know, we can see, you know, them fighters are definitely going to grow and become even better, like Floyd Mayweather did. But for now, there is no one that is on the exact level of Floyd Mayweather. And we are really lucky as boxing fans to live at a time where we are getting to see someone like Floyd Mayweather at his best. Floyd Mayweather, like I said before, he was prepared for everything that Canelo dished out. Floyd Mayweather he was beating Canelo. When Canelo was backing up, Floyd Mayweather was beating Canelo's ass. When Canelo was coming forward, Floyd Mayweather was beating his ass. I believe it was round 7 where Floyd Mayweather had backed up Canelo Alvarez. Like I said, Canelo, he had his guard up. So, Floyd Mayweather, as smart as he is, instead of throwing a straight right hand down the pipe because Canelo's guard is in front of him, we already know Floyd Mayweather, he's going to throw a looping right hand that's going to go right around your gloves, right? And then the very next punch that Floyd Mayweather threw, as Canelo was backing up towards the ropes, he thought that, Canelo thought that Floyd was going to throw another looping right hook, but instead he threw a right uppercut. Paper, rock, scissor. You don't know what to expect. And then he got Canelo against the ropes, and then he started having his way throwing all different type of looping right hands, straight right hands. And Canelo had that frustrated look on his face while his back was on the ropes, and Floyd Mayweather just popping the shit out of him. Now, I think that was around 7. Now, and in round 8, I think Canelo, he realized that he kind of got bullied. He got backed up on the ropes. So in round 8, this is when Canelo said, fuck this, I'm going to charge this motherfucker, and I'm about to come at him as hard as I can. And when he did that, that's when Canelo really started getting his ass whooped, because that's when Floyd Mayweather started catching his ass with uppercuts, hooks. That's when he started rolling. Floyd Mayweather would start rolling Canelo's 1-2, and then he would catch him with the right hand over and over and over again, right? The lead right hands, they were perfect. The jabs were perfect. And of course, Canelo, he even admitted in the post-fight conference that he was extremely frustrated. He admitted that he was frustrated. And when someone admits that they were frustrated, I mean, that's pretty big. That's pretty telling, right? Because Floyd Mayweather gave you every different look that he could give you. He gave you every different look. Like I was saying before, I don't know if I said it already in this video because I'm just rambling on, but Floyd Mayweather, he doesn't run in the ring. I mean, of course, we have the dumb people who say stupid shit because they don't know boxing, but Floyd Mayweather, he doesn't run in the ring. Everything he does is for a purpose. You have a lot of fighters that move around the ring, and they're not even doing it for a purpose. They're really doing it because a lot of them are just moving around thinking about what they're going to do next, thinking about when they're going to try to jump in and throw a combination and then jump back out. Like I said, like when you look at Amir Khan, when he's just moving around the ring, kind of like what he used to do. I mean, he's trying not to do that anymore now since he's working with Hunter. But when he used to do that, it was more of it looked like he was confused. You're supposed to be frustrating and confusing your opponent, but when he did that, it looked like he was confused. You're moving around the ring, but you're not doing it for any reason, right? Floyd Mayweather, when he moves around the ring, he's moving left, he's moving right. Then he's bobbing and weaving. Then then he gets in the Philly shell. Then he stands up. Then he gets low. Then he hits you with a lead right hand. Then he bounces to the left, hits you with a double jab, bounces back to the right, hits you with a right hand to the body. Paper, rock, scissor. You don't know what to expect when you're dealing with Floyd Mayweather. Soon as I said that, Paulie said the exact fucking same thing that I said, and he broke it down to a T to explain to Al Bernstein. He said, it's not the speed. It's not just the speed. It's the timing. It's the subtle things that Floyd Mayweather does. 1 minute Floyd is moving to the left. Then he's moving to the right. Then he throws a lead right hand to the body. Then he hits you with a jab, a double jab. Then he's throwing a looping right hand that's going around your glove. Then it's going straight down the pipe through your glove. Then you think he's going to throw another right hand. Bam, he hits you with a right uppercut. You never know what to expect when you're in the ring with Floyd Mayweather. It had nothing to do with you can't make any excuses for Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez was the one that was talking about, I was born ready. And this, me coming in at 152, I'm going to be even better because I'm going to be quicker. I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. We already knew that Canelo Alvarez, he had psychological stamina issues. We knew that before this fight. Right? We knew that before this fight. I talked about this as well in my breakdown. I told you guys when he was fighting against Canelo Alvarez. I told you guys when Canelo was fighting against Austin Trout, he was fighting in spurts, and I told you already, it wasn't because he had physical stamina issues. It was psychological. It was psychological. Canelo Alvarez is not a brawler. Okay, he's not a brawler, but Canelo Alvarez, he's gonna try to, intimidate you with his brute force power. He's gonna try to knock you out with a hard combination. But if that does not work, and then you walk right through it, then Canelo Alvarez, he's gonna do either two things. He's gonna either back up, or he's gonna get on his bicycle and he's gonna run, right? Just like he did in the Austin Trout fight, just like he did in the Leonardo Tyner fight. You guys go back and watch that fight. A lot of people say, oh, well, Canelo's gotten better since then. No, he didn't. No, he didn't, because Canelo did the exact same thing against Austin Trout. Austin Trout just wasn't as aggressive as Leonardo Tyner was. Leonardo Tyner, he had one of those very, very rare good fucking chins, and he was walking through everything that Canelo threw. And that put Canelo Alvarez on a motherfucking 10 speed, because he was moving around that ring. And once again, this is what I mean when I tell you guys, there is a difference from having foot movement and just running. What Floyd Mayweather uses is great foot movement, right? What Canelo Alvarez was doing against Tyner, and when he was backing up against Austin Trout, it was running, and it was running with frustration. He's running, he's moving around the ring trying to avoid his opponent. He's not moving around the ring trying to set this guy up for a trap. No, he's moving around the ring because he's trying to stay away from him. There is a difference, guys. Once again, like in the Nonito Donaire versus Guillermo Rigondeaux fight, right? When Donaire was moving, it was subtle movements. Little move to the left, little move to the right, and then catch your ass with a perfect left hand, right? But in that 12th round, when Donaire got caught with a perfect counter left hand, Donaire was trying to stay away from Guillermo Rigondeaux. He wasn't trying to set Rigo up with anything. He was trying to stay away from him. And that is the difference. You have foot movement, and then you have running. So Floyd Mayweather, he showed every different element of his boxing acumen, right? The man is a fucking genius. And there is no one that you can tell me in the history of the sport of boxing that is intelligent as Floyd Mayweather. This man, Floyd Mayweather, he woke up the day of the fight at 146 pounds. Later on, he weighed in at 150, and Canelo weighed in at 165 pounds. This is what Floyd Mayweather means when he said they don't realize we was going to take the fight anyway. They were just dumb enough to say, we're willing to come down to 152. We're willing to come down to 150. They just wanted the fight so bad. Canelo Alvarez had been calling out Floyd Mayweather for so long. He was willing to do whatever it took to make the fight, right? And we also know that, we seen Floyd Mayweather show the article on All Access. He showed the article of Canelo Alvarez saying he was willing to go down to 150. But realistically, none of that shit matters. None of that shit matters, because we already know, regardless if this fight was at 154, it could have been at 160. It would not have mattered, because Canelo was tailor-made for Floyd Mayweather. And when I say, and understand something, when I say he was tailor-made, that's not a bad thing, when it comes to Canelo Alvarez. I just mean an aggressive, strong fighter who's always thinking about knockout. You're going to be tailor-made for Floyd Mayweather. But fans, dumbass fans, are going to always think this is the type of guy that's going to beat Floyd Mayweather. This is the type of guy that Floyd Mayweather is going to be afraid of. But yet, Floyd Mayweather, he gave Canelo less respect than he gave a smaller Guerrero that moved up 2 divisions to fight him. Why? Because the intelligence that Guerrero had was on a different level than the intelligence that Canelo had. And as you guys remember, I told you in my video, my breakdown video, I told you I don't even believe that Canelo will do as good as Cotto and Oscar De La Hoya. And I was right. And Joel Diaz, Tim Bradley's trainer, as you see, I uploaded a video of him giving his thoughts on the fight. He said he didn't even believe that Canelo would do as good as Guerrero. And as we've seen, that was the case. I mean, don't get me wrong. Canelo did pretty good against Floyd Mayweather, right? But the difference between the Guerrero and the Canelo fight is Canelo took way more punishment than Guerrero did. Although Guerrero lost every round, Guerrero was smart enough to avoid, he was smart enough to avoid a lot more punches than Canelo was, or Canelo did, I should say, right? And that's the difference. Also, I also want to talk about the USA chants versus the Canelo and the Mexico and the Si Se Puede chants. And I understand this is what I'm about to say right now, and it's going to sound a little bit biased towards my own country because I am all American. One thing I really liked in this fight is at the beginning of the fight. I don't know if you guys listened to the audio. At the beginning of the fight, we heard strong chants of Canelo, and like I said, yes we can in Spanish, right? And then I remember around the second or third round, you start getting chants of USA, right? And then the Canelo fans, they would boo the USA chants, right? But by the 12th round, those USA chants had returned. This time they were stronger and they were louder, and they would not be drowned out because by this point, everyone in that arena, they already knew the results of the fight. And that was something that I, as an American, truly enjoyed. It kind of reminded me of when Rocky Balboa was in Russia fighting Ivan Drago. And at the beginning of the fight, the crowd was just pouring Rocky Balboa with boos. And later on in the fight, they were chanting Rocky. So, it was very similar to that situation. Another thing I really enjoyed about this fight, at least before the fight began, is, at the beginning when they sing the national anthems, we always hear when someone sings a Mexican national anthem, at the end of the song, they always say, Viva Mexico, right? Of course, cheering for their country, which is nothing wrong with that. But we never really heard anything like that when an American sings the American national anthem, right? So what I thought it was pretty interesting, and I believe it was Tank who was singing the American national anthem. At the end of him singing the song, he says, "Money team, let's go." I thought that was pretty interesting, and I enjoyed that. There cannot be any more doubt that Floyd Mayweather is the best of his fucking era, okay? There can be no doubt about that shit. There could be no doubt, no more of this, he ain't ever fought nobody, this and that and all this kind of shit. You can make all the excuses you want. But let me explain this, and I was going to talk about this on another video, but let me just go ahead and get this shit out. You may hear me say this again on another video, but I'm going to say this right now. For people that say, for haters that can't stand Floyd Mayweather's guts and hope that motherfucker drop dead right now, like people like Jim Lampley, for you to say some shit like, oh, the guy he fought this guy was too old, that guy was too small, this guy was too young, this guy was too slow, this guy was too fast, this guy was too whatever, right? There's always excuses, right? But if you guys really compare Floyd Mayweather, right, to all the other champions that have lost, the majority of champions that lost, guess what? They lost to a guy who was either too old, either too small, either didn't have any speed, either was too inexperienced, etc., etc., etc. You don't believe me? Who did Oscar De La Hoya lose to in his first fight? He lost to a guy that jumped up 2 weight classes to fight him. Doesn't that story sound kind of similar? Yeah, because didn't Juan Manuel Marquez do the same thing? He jumped up like 2 divisions to fight Floyd Mayweather at catchweight, right? So De La Hoya fought somebody who was too small, and he lost, right? Let's look at all the undefeated. Prospects. They lose to fucking journeymen that fucking are bums all the time. Let's look at Donaire losing to Rigo. What was everyone saying? Rigo wasn't ready for Donaire. Rigo didn't have any experience. Rigo doesn't deserve to fight Donaire because he's too inexperienced. For crying out loud, the motherfucker only has 11 fights. This is what they were saying. This is what they were saying. So all the people that you say Floyd Mayweather is beating and you make excuses for why he's beating him, other champions, pound for pound champions even, are losing to these type of fighters. They're losing to the fighters that are too old, too inexperienced, too small, too this, too that, right? Margarito got knocked out by a Shane Mosley that was what? Too old. Canelo Alvarez, he fucking struggled more, or I won't say he struggled, let's put it this way. Floyd Mayweather did better against a younger Shane Mosley that was 2 years younger, that came off of his best win. Mayweather did better against that Mosley than Canelo did against a Mosley that was 2 years older and came off of 2-3 losses in a row, right? No matter what you say about Floyd Mayweather, he can't be fucked with, right? He cannot be fucked with. Until you can give me a list of a couple fighters, even if it's just one fighter, that you know that can beat him from 147 to 160, then we will have a conversation. But till then, the hate, all that hate and shit is fucking irrelevant. You're going to either talk boxing or you're going to just talk dumbass shit with your friends. That really is irrelevant to a bunch of people that really know they shit and are really talking about the sport of boxing. Okay? This man, Floyd Mayweather, he ain't going to lose to nobody. You know, truly, I only believe there are only two people that can really, really give Floyd Mayweather a run for his money, and that fight will probably almost be a 50-50 fight. There's only two people who can give Floyd that kind of fight, and that's Guillermo Rigondeaux and that's Andre Ward. I don't see no one else giving Floyd Mayweather a fight. You know, if Tim Bradley is still the same Tim Bradley that beat Manny Pacquiao, and if he goes in here and he beats Marquez like I think that he will, if he's, 100%, I believe that Tim Bradley would give Floyd Mayweather a good fight. I believe Tim Bradley will give Floyd Mayweather a better fight than probably any other fighter. Okay? Danny Garcia, he would give Floyd Mayweather a good fight, but he would not win that fight. He would not win that fight. Okay? I believe that Tim Bradley, he would be the person that would give Floyd Mayweather his best fight. I also want to give credit to Showtime's Jim Gray, because his professionalism as a journalist, it really deserves high praise. I mean, when you just compare how he interviews fighters as opposed to how Larry Merchant interviews fighters, it is completely night and day. It makes motherfuckers like Jim Lampley look like they are fucking comedians when they grab the microphone. Jim Gray is a professional. What I like about Jim Gray is when you have fighters that try to, throw a little bit of a hit and dig and try to give, let's say Canelo trying to give credit to Floyd Mayweather, but at the same time trying his best to just poke at Mayweather a little bit and make excuses. What Jim Gray does is he forces you to have to acknowledge how good Floyd Mayweather really is. When he says something like, was he better than you thought? Is he a great fighter? Shit like that, it kind of forces you to tell the truth. And that is the reason why I really like Jim Gray. That's the reason why I really, really like Showtime in its entirety, because they are just so much more professionals when it comes to calling the fight. They don't call fights like they are fans. They call fights like they are professionals. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Another thing that separates Floyd Mayweather from every other fighter is you guys don't understand. The phrase hard work, dedication, it's not just a saying. When Floyd Mayweather says that, he lives and dies by that shit, because Floyd Mayweather, he trains harder than any other fighter. If you look at almost all the opponents that win 12 rounds with Floyd Mayweather, by the 12th round, there is only one fighter in that ring that's still fighting like it's the first round, and that is Floyd Money Mayweather. And I was just, right before I made this video, I was just watching the fight again, the Canelo Mayweather fight. And, like I said before, Canelo has always been a fighter that fought in spurts. He was always the type of fighter that would fight in spurts. He would get tired, but then he would get a second win, right? But what I noticed in this fight is by the 11th round, it looked like Canelo was completely spent. And he was completely spent because he doesn't have a training regimen like Floyd Mayweather does. Everyone that Floyd Mayweather faces, they look like, and wait, let me just rephrase that. Not everyone Floyd Mayweather faces, almost the majority of fighters in general, by the time they reach the championship rounds, they may still have, maybe they still have 80% left, maybe they still have 70% left of their, stamina and their energy. But not too many fighters can fight in the championship rounds like it is the first rounds. And that's another reason why we call them championship rounds, because this is when you have to dig deep, right? This is the battle of the fittest. This is the survival of the fittest, right? So when people make stupid ass excuses saying, oh, my guy, he only lost because he got tired. I mean, hell, that's as dumb as a marathon runner saying the only reason why I didn't get first place is because I got tired. If I wouldn't have got tired, you would have been in trouble, buddy. I mean, that's how stupid shit like that sounds. Why do you think fighters fight for 12 rounds? Because this is a battle of attrition. This is a battle of the fittest. The strongest will survive and outlast everyone and be the last person standing. Oh yeah, and one more thing before I end this video. If you guys pay attention to this picture that I have up right now, and if you look down at the bottom left hand corner, you'll see a guy sitting in the audience, and that guy right there is a Hollywood movie producer or director. I think his name is Peter Berg or something like that, but he was on All Access. They say he's somewhat of one of Canelo's new friends, and he was in the process of making a documentary. And obviously, he was praying to God that Canelo will win this fight, because I don't know how good that documentary will be in favor of Canelo if he loses like he did. So you see the look of frustration as Floyd Mayweather's right hand lands over Canelo's chin that the movie director he has on his face at the time. So I wonder if he'll still produce the video. Obviously, he doesn't want to make Floyd Mayweather look good in the documentary. This was supposed to be a Canelo Alvarez documentary. So, I just wanted to throw that out there. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this at that. I'm on to the next one, guys.